Coming up on OU Nightly, a cold front came through the state earlier this morning, dropping our temperatures. I'll let you know how cool we'll get this weekend coming up.
And a motorcycle crash takes the life of an OU student, what we know so far. Plus, the university instills a new graduation tradition, how students are reacting. This is OU Nightly. Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Victoria Anderson.
And I'm Ireland Fitzer. We begin tonight with big changes in the weather.
Let's get right over to OU Nightly meteorologist Peyton Gallion. Peyton, we're expecting our first freeze in the next few days.
Yes, we are, Victoria. Like I said, that cold front came through early this morning. Temperatures here in the metro down in the 50s, and compared to 24 hours ago yesterday, we are nearly 25 to 30 degrees cooler than we were yesterday with that really lots of cloud coverage. So coming up in Maine weather, I'm going to talk about that rain that's coming back in the forecast this weekend, the Arctic blast coming along with that cold front we had earlier this morning, in your game day forecast if you find yourself up in Lawrence.
Thanks, Peyton. A deadly crash near OU's South Creek community takes the life of a sophomore engineering student. Norman police say Theo May was killed near Elmwood and Elm Street last night. Detectives say he was driving a motorcycle that crashed after some type of incident with a vehicle. Police tell us they can't say anything more until the full police report is completed. OU Nightly's Emily Faith talked to friends who knew Theo, and she joins us live from the scene. Emily.
Ireland, I'm here on the south end of campus, standing on Elm Avenue, and this is where the site of the crash was on Thursday evening. But tonight, family and friends of the motorcycle driver are in mourning.
I think it's kind of easy to brush it as an accident and kind of forgetting he was a friend, son, and a brother.
Friends and family identifies the motorcyclist as Theodore May, a sophomore engineering student at OU. His former roommate, Hayden Mena, says motorbikes were Theo's biggest passion, as it gave him a positive outlet and outlook on life.
He's been through a lot, and he kind of turned to bikes as a channel through almost like an escape for him. So it is kind of hard to see the accident and how that related to it, but I think I'm just glad that he kind of found his channel through it.
Mena lived with May during their freshman year in Headington Hall. It was a random roommate match that led to a close friendship being born.
He was a hard worker. He really knew how to put his head down and work. He's been through a lot through his life too, and the fact that he always kind of had the caring mindset and his attitude towards school, and I think he's unique character-wise. Just some of his phrases, stuff like that. But it's a kid kind of unique. It made him kind and special.
Norman police say that the driver of the other vehicle involved did not sustain any injuries, and the investigation as to what caused the crash is still ongoing by Norman PD's crash team. Reporting live from campus, Emily Faith, OU Nightly.
What a touching tribute. Thank you, Emily. We will be keeping Theo's family and friends in our thoughts. Elsewhere on campus, the big buzz is new changes to spring graduation, which graduating students and their parents found out about over email. OU Nightly's Dakota Wapakichi is live on campus with the story.
Yeah, students received this email right here, and they aren't really feeling like they're being celebrated by the university they've spent several years in for their career.
It would just be better to have a smaller, more intimate graduation with our professors and stuff.
Blindsided, that's when Isaac Medina says his classmates felt whenever they were discussing the changes to graduation mentioned in this email. All of those students concerned.
And initially, a lot of my classmates were, had some grievances towards kind of the larger scale that graduation would be.
And he isn't the only one.
I guess I feel cheated. I wanted what was normal for the university.
Fan, a COVID graduate, didn't have a totally normal graduation in high school. Now she feels like it's history repeating itself. The outrage even making its way to social media. One OU parent heard about these changes on Facebook. Now she's saying not only will her son not have the normal, individualized graduation in college, he joins FAN as a 2020 graduate who had their high school and now their college graduation changed.
They've already lost so much their senior year of high school and their freshman year of college.
Roy says she pays out-of-state tuition that has increased by 3% throughout her kids' experience in college. She said she will defend the university through many decisions, but this one is unlike any other.
I defend it pretty much on every level, but on this, I can't. I don't understand it.
Now, in comparison to other universities, Oklahoma State and Stillwater does what OU is switching to. And for the SEC, Texas, Missouri, Ole Miss, Florida, LSU, and Arkansas participate in OU's former commencement plans.
Yeah, the university says they researched using Big 12 and SEC schools and how they did it. And I asked a specific question about how this impacts COVID graduates from high school, and the university did not answer that question. In Norman, Dakota Wapakichi, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Dakota. Investigators are uncovering new information as they search for the suspect of a mass shooting. Spencer Tabb has that and the rest of today's national and international headlines from the News Center.
Investigators recover a note belonging to the suspect, Robert Card, which they described as a suicide note. Police are still looking for a motive for the shooting and are focusing on searching the waterways near where his car was found. The state's medical examiner says all 18 victims have been identified with their ages ranging from 14 to 76. The United States launches airstrikes hitting 2 Iranian-backed militias in Syria. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin says these airstrikes were tailored in self-defense, following a series of drone and rocket attacks against U.S. forces in the region. The strikes targeted weapons and ammunition storages facilities near the border between Syria and Iraq. And White House officials say they remain in active conversations with Israel about a humanitarian pause to allow for the release of hostages in Gaza. Ireland, Victoria.
Thanks, Spencer. Back here on campus, the American Sign Language Club at OU wants the OU community to learn more about the language. OU Nightly's Stone Weber tells us how they'll get the chance on a big stage.
Meeting in Kaufman Hall, the OU ASL Club is providing students with a new point of view.
ASL Club is the American Sign Language Club, and basically we are just wanting to promote American Sign Language and deaf culture, deaf awareness to the students at OU. We have some ASL classes, and so this is an opportunity for people in the classes to come and practice their skills a little bit more, or if you're not in a class, you get to come and learn some signs and learn about the deaf community.
The group wants to raise awareness at OU, but it also wants to spark a connection with the deaf community in Oklahoma. President Alice Solon's passion for sign language came from a unique connection.
I had a mentor who was deaf, and he was very special to me because he was the first one who taught me ASL.
The club will be signing the Star-Spangled Banner at the football game on November 11th, and for Ellie Laurent, it's a long-awaited day.
I mean, this is the first year that we're doing it. It's something that we've wanted to do for a couple of years, but we haven't been able to reach out to the right people. It's taken a while to set up just this one specific date, but in the future, we're absolutely hoping that we can do some more games throughout the season.
While it may be too late to get involved in the Star-Spangled Banner event, you can still get involved in the club.
We have our Instagram, OU_ASL Club, and that's a great way to get involved. You can sign on to our GroupMe, our Engage through OU, and we have bi-weekly meetings, so every other week we'll have a meeting.
Reporting from campus, Stone Weber, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Stone. And if you'd like to get involved, the club's next meeting will be November 9th.
And one Oklahoma restaurant is shaking it off after a superstar scare today.
The story of how Taylor Swift returned to this Tulsa restaurant when OU Nightly continues.
Well, we're not out of the woods yet. Rain chances come back into the forecast this weekend with wintry precipitation chances in the state of Oklahoma. I'll tell you where coming up. Well, welcome back to OU Nightly. If you take a look at the South Oval right now, it looks like a fairly nice day, other than the fact that you need a jacket because we are in the 50s and it feels relatively about that same. And if we go throughout the rest of the state, we can see that Idabel, they're still dealing like it's summer. It's 81 down there, but you can see where that cold front came through. 50s and upper 60s throughout the rest of the state. So looking at that bigger picture, we can see this cold front that came through just earlier this morning continuing to move off, and we can see all these winter weather advisories, the storm warnings for tonight. Now this is going to make its way a little bit southward come a few days. So those rain chances do increase Saturday and Sunday. I know not a great pleasant weekend ahead, but let's time out that future track for you starting Saturday, watching that game here in Norman. The rain will be coming down 47 degrees, continuing throughout the duration of the game while you're watching it at home. Still raining throughout the rest of your Saturday to celebrate the start of Halloween weekend. We can see that wintry precipitation come in through the Panhandle. Now this is not any sort of winter storm or anything. A lot of this ice and sleet will stay in northwestern portions of Oklahoma. I do not expect any to reach the Oklahoma City or Tulsa metro. You can see that rain making its way out by Sunday. And now with these wind chills, you can see that front made its way through. Now coming down, you can see Sunday 32 degrees feeling like, and continuing out through the rest of the day, going to still be feeling like in the 20s. And then going into your Monday, while you're walking to class, still going to be feeling like it's in the 20s. So we're almost flipping completely different seasons. And if you're going up to Lawrence for this football game, it's basically going to be the same page here in Norman. Temperatures in the 30s to start the game. Those cloud cover chances and the rain chances increase throughout the duration of the game, ending the game in the lower 40s. Now going throughout the next few days, you think we're going to warm back up, and that is not the case. Rain chances Saturday, Sunday, Monday, low of 31 once again. Tuesday, still below freezing as a low. Wednesday, we're still below freezing. And again, on Thursday, we're going to be back in the 30s. A little bit of a warm up come Friday. However, to celebrate Halloween, I feel like it's really going to be a little bit cool one for those trick-or-treaters, Ireland.
Yeah, so what are you going to be for Halloween this year?
You know, I think I'm going to play Barbie, maybe meteorologist Barbie.
Nice. That's cute. I think I'm going to be like something 80s. I just want the big hair and the
Lots
makeup.
of layers to stay warm.
Yeah, it'll be easy to stay warm.
I think I'm going to go with blonde journalist legend Carrie Bradshaw.
Oh, that's a classic. It's my favorite TV show.
Well, thank you, Peyton. Yeah. And speaking of blonde legends, Duet, a Tulsa restaurant, took to social media after a cardboard cutout of Taylor Swift went missing from the restaurant's window Thursday night. The restaurant posted a missing poster of the cutout saying they wouldn't ask any questions to whoever stole it if they would just bring it back. Unfortunately for them, Taylor Swift, the cutout version, was mysteriously returned back to safety today, just in time for the restaurant to celebrate 1989, Taylor's version, which was released today.
And Victoria, where were you last night?
I'm not at liberty to discuss that right now. And on to OU football, rides into the Birdhouse in Lawrence tomorrow.
Our OU Nightly sports team breaks down the matchup and all this weekend's action on the Sooner slate, coming up next on Big Friday Sports.
Welcome to Big Friday Sports. I'm Melina Samir.
And I'm Kaylee Jo Hommel. Oklahoma is hoping its hot streak against the Jayhawks soars to 19 straight wins this Saturday. OU Nightly Sports' Kenzie Iserman and Addison Arthur are live in Lawrence with everything you need to know before this game takes flight. Kenzie?
Hello and welcome to Lawrence. Me and Addison will be live all weekend long as the Sooners prepare to face the Jayhawks tomorrow.
That's right, Kinsey. KU is normally a big basketball school, but their football program has really turned things around this season. The stadium right behind us is going to be sold out for tomorrow's game.
And speaking of turning things around, the Sooners have also turned things around, remaining 7-0 heading into this weekend's game. Drake Stoops says that OU is constantly learning and constantly improving.
As Coach Venables always says, failure is like just a great teacher. So last year was a great teacher in a lot of games, a lot of close games. We found ourselves on the wrong side of it, and this year, like say Saturday, we found ourselves on the right side of it. And I think it's just learning from mistakes and then finishing better in the fourth quarter, having better competitive stamina throughout the game, and being able to finish and make plays when they really matter and when they're really needed, and being able to complement each other in those crucial moments.
And here's a fun fact for you. The Sooners have beat the Jayhawks 18 consecutive times in a row. So if the Sooners pull out a win tomorrow, that'll make number 19. I got to attend Big 12 Media Days in July and got to catch up with some Kansas players as well as head coach Lance Leopold and hear how they have improved this season.
I'm just excited to improve again, and we have a lot of expectation this year, but we're really excited to get back on the field and show what we've been doing all offseason.
Last year, the Sooners held KU to a 10-point margin and made some big plays like this one to find the end zone. But KU thinks that this year's game will be different. Head coach Lance Leopold said his program has been turned right side up.
And quite honestly, it was night and day difference ahead of what we were at our last stop as far as becoming a player-led program. And I know those players, and especially the 4 men that are here today, have embraced that, and they're ready to take it another step.
When asked if they are ready for OU, Kenny Logan Jr. said they are always ready.
Happy to have them here. I'm ready to go against them. They're great competitions. They give us different skill attributes that one team might not have, so I'm ready to go. We're just really trying to focus on what we do every day, our day-to-day stuff, just trying to make sure we have everything in order in our house before we worry about anything else.
And tomorrow will be the last time these two play each other in the Big 12.
And in the Big 12 and in the SEC, all universities have historic traditions.
You're right. Tennessee sings Rocky Top, Notre Dame has Touchdown Jesus, and here in Lawrence, Kansas, they sing the Rock Chalk chant. But for OU, it's the Sooner Schooner. Let me take you behind the scenes and introduce you to some of the people that make it run. How iconic is the Sooner Schooner? USA Today Sports listed them as one of the best in sports history and one of the coolest things to see in college football.
I don't care what anyone says about any other mascot, buffalo, a longhorn, an eagle. They don't pull a schooner out on the field driven by a student.
Contrary to what some believe, Boomer and Sooner don't actually live at Oklahoma Memorial Stadium. They live on a ranch at an undisclosed location where they're treated like royalty.
So they're very well taken care of, pampered. Probably some of the most pampered animals on earth.
We got the palace on the prairie. These are the princesses.
Get the spa treatment every time before a home game. I mean, they are always loving it.
Boomer and Sooner are like celebrities here in Norman, and they make a huge impact on game day. Boomer, do you have any comments? I think he says Boomer Sooner.
Incredibly famous. I mean, everyone's asking for pictures with him. We set up outside the north side of the stadium to just have fans come take pictures with us, interact with the ponies, feed the ponies, pet them. So they're more famous than we are.
The ponies are very social on game days, but they do have an intense job. They have been involved in an accident before and were even penalized one time. If the schooner didn't run, it would be a problem for fans because when fans see the ponies run out, that means OU put more points on the board.
Okay, ladies, let's go. I'm abrupt and stern with it. And I'll be yelling, I'll get them going, and yeah. And I'm usually fired, I'm usually doing that too.
And watching them go out and then make the turn and come back home up through the tunnel is like always exciting. Doesn't matter how many times you watch it.
According to Boomer and Sooners owner, there is absolutely no doubt who the best mascot in college sports is.
The Sooner Schooner is the #1 mascot in the NC2A sports, period.
And after watching that, I can't decide who has the bigger personality, me or Boomer. But the ponies only come to championship games, Big 12 and OU Texas, so sadly, we're not going to see the ponies here in Kansas tomorrow.
Now, between you and Boomer, I think it's a pretty close call, but I'm not quite sure on which one I'd choose. Now, sadly, that's all the coverage we have today from Lawrence. From Addison Arthur, I'm Kenzie Eiserman, and we're tossing it to Ballin' with Brig in the studio.
Welcome back to Bowling with Brig. We had some 2A action under the Thursday night lights as the Purcell Dragons traveled to take on the Little Axe Indians. Little Axe broke their 3-year losing streak last week and have a tough test this week. But a former Sooner star, Kennedy Brooks, is now on the staff and he's trying to help turn around that program. It doesn't take long for the Dragons to heat up. Cash Guthmuller takes the keeper out of the old school wishbone formation for the touchdowns. Dragons up early and they don't slow down. They get the ball back real quick with some good defense. Cash, again, takes the keeper straight to the bank for his second of the night, and he's breathing fire like a dragon. And check out this play. They get the ball back, low snap. Cash has to roll out trying to find his man. He's pointing to his wide receiver. He fires in the corner of the end zone, and Noah Mason snags the touchdown. And it's so good, the Little Axe defender shakes his hand. I've never even seen that before. But before we continue the Cash Guthmuller show, check out this halftime show. This is as small town high school as it gets. The Furry Friends made it out to the game and put on their performance. Dragons up 35-6 with a minute left in the first half. And Purcell looking to run it up. Cash airs it out deep, and the ball is tipped. Look there, but it won't go down. Colt Taylor grabs the spectacular pass, and the Dragons have a chance to score. And right before the half, Cash, again, all about the money. He takes the keeper in for his 6th total touchdown of the night as the Dragons scorched the Indians 42-14. And that's all we have from Ballin' with Brig. Be sure to tune in next week as we approach the playoffs.
Thanks, Brig. Over in the pros, Thursday night lights were dimmed for a former Sooner. Quarterback Baker Mayfield and Tampa Bay sailed into Buffalo looking to snap their 2-game losing streak, but didn't leave with the gold 24-18. Mayfield threw for 237 yards and notched 2 touchdowns on the night.
Looking ahead, more former Sooners look to shine in the league on Sunday. Kansas City looks to keep their win streak alive versus Denver at 3:25 p.m. The Rams charge into the Lone Star State looking to bounce back from Week 7 when the Cowboys welcome them into town. And it's a bird battle when the Ravens fly into Arizona to take on the Cardinals.
Throwing it back over to some college ball, Oregon looks to keep its ducks in a row when they face Utah at 2:30 p.m. In another ranked matchup with Duke hoping to ground the Cardinals. At the same time, the Gators chomp Georgia's 3rd year with a unbeaten record, and the night slate kicks off with number 3 ranked Buckeyes taking on Wisconsin.
When we come back, we'll talk all things Sooner sports.
From baseball to softball to soccer, we'll cover this weekend's hottest matchups for OU. You won't want to miss it. Welcome back to Big Friday Sports. While it's still fall, OU baseball is back in full swing. The Sooners are in action this afternoon for a scrimmage against McLennan College.
Oklahoma is in their 7th year under head coach Skip Johnson, and it's a family affair for this exhibition game as the Highlanders head coach Tyler Johnson takes on his father's team for a 2nd straight fall scrimmage. OU will play another fall exhibition scrimmage next Friday, November 3rd at 5:30 p.m. against UT Arlington.
And back in the pros, it's a battle for the best of the best. The Texas Rangers and Arizona Diamondbacks have punched their tickets, and first pitch of the World Series is tonight at 7:03 p.m. Both teams took on Games 6 and 7 on the road, beating out the Phillies and the reigning World Series champions, Houston Astros.
The fall ball doesn't end there, switching from the mound to the circle. The Oklahoma Battle Series continues with Oklahoma once again facing its toughest opponent. Alyssa Brito brought her A game Thursday night, being named MVP. The Sooners return Wednesday for another scrimmage at Marita Hines.
Switching over to the court, OU men's basketball is gearing up for the 2023-24 season. As head coach Porter Moser heads into his 3rd year, he has high expectations for his squad.
We addressed some guys that have been through it, but we also have some needs. I said I want speed. I want some shooting speed, some length, athleticism. If my staff was here, they could say, oh my God, there's meetings of what Coach was saying in the meetings where we wanted to address. And I thought we addressed them. I thought we did more in the spring recruiting transfer portal than we have done my first 2 years.
From the hardwood to the field, a Bedlam loss isn't destroying OU soccer's championship dreams. The Sooners plan to round up the Cowboys in Round Rock in a rematch to open Oklahoma's slate on Saturday. The winner moves on to claw the BYU Cougars Monday.
Thanks for watching Big Friday Sports. I'm Melina Samir.
And I'm Kaylee Jo Hommel. Have a fun and football-filled weekend.